Warning, the video you are about to watch should not be viewed by anyone under 18 because of my corrupt mind. It should also not be watched by anyone over 18, also due to my corrupt mind. Thank you. Alright, so today we're going to talk about Entropia universe, do a little show and tell, talk about Lord of the Flies, and play some video games. Alright, Entropia universe. Let's update you on that. Let's see. Let me put on my glasses. I'll try not to waste your time. Brandon XP18 Globals. Brandon XP18 Dharmic XP Lee killed a creature mutated Calmalden young with a value of 56 ped at Quorum Coast. That's $5.60. Then Loris says D, happy face. Wow, Casey doing well, I see. Alright, so I'm in a good society. It's one of my favorite ones I've ever been in. The name of it is Diabolical Dominion. If you want to hang out with Loris. He's the captain. He's semi-famous at this point on this game. He's a good player. Alright, so I'm sweating. Now watch this. I don't have lag. I've been struggling all week because this game on this computer with this internet and Windows updates gives me lag. But today it's flowing free and I don't know why it works. And when it doesn't work, I don't know why. So I struggled all day just to get 1,000 sweat yesterday. Okay, so every Entropia video I like to show my skills. I have 80,515. I'm working towards 100,000. Okay, there's that. Then I'm showing this because at least one player didn't know it was here. You go to your PED card, and this is where I get paid for both my 2 Arcadia Moon Deeds and my 144 AUDs Arcadia Underground Deeds. Alright. So the thing that the guy didn't know about is through the PED card, the third item is Entropia Exchange. Okay. So you can see that I have 4 different kinds of deeds here. Ancient Greece, Calypso Land Deed Trust, Crystal Palace Space Station, New Treasure Island. So I got paid yesterday for the Calypso Land Deed Trust and the Crystal Palace. These 4 deeds paid me 4 pecks each, something like that. Anyway, so it's working out for me. I was skeptical about the Ancient Greece deeds, but I bought one to try it out, and eventually I did get paid, so I bought more. So I'm building evenly. I'm 4-4-3-3. So the next 2 I'll buy is the Crystal Palace and the New Treasure Island, and then I'll be in the land of the 4s. Once I do that, I'll go from there. Alright. I have 13.71 ped on me. That's all that's left from my last $25 depot. 57 cents in shrapnel. Okay, so I can hunt a little. At Boreas, when I get bored of sweating, I shoot a couple of curbs. I'm Codex, repeat twice, Codex 26 on these Kerberos creatures. You know the story with the invention of those. Some guy, he was about to get fired from the company. Well, he did get fired, but before he got fired, he invented these creatures, which has turned out to be a mainstay of the game. He must have been drunk and hard to handle. I can relate to people like that. Alright. So, Entropia universe, in comparison to other video games, it's kind of boring to film. It's not that exciting. It's more of a work game or a business game. It's just something you have on, especially when you're sweating while you do other things. Let's see. So a little show and tell. I found this disc today. Risk the game of global domination. So if I ever am without the internet, I can just pop this in and play that. I've never beaten the game. I've only gotten to 4th or 5th level. It becomes impossibly hard. The Hobbit, the prelude to the Lord of the Rings. This was released on PlayStation. But again, this is another game that I can just pop into a computer and play. I'd love to finish the thing. It's kind of cartoony, but I'll play it. Oh yeah, I bought this today from the Batman Forever movie. Hot Wheels, this impractical Batmobile. I say that because it has this big long tail fin. So the Batmobile always gets into trouble. And this fin extends the height of the car to 10 or 12 feet. So it just doesn't work for the Batmobile, because what if it has to go under a truck? Or that tail fin that is useless is just going to snap off. It's stupid. But it's a beautiful car. I wish I had one. It just doesn't need that tail fin on the top. It's stupid. And it was a stupid movie. Alright, I died. The director apologized for it. Yeah, that was the 3rd one. That was pretty bad. The 4th one was even worse. They were going to make a 5th one, but the reception to the 4th was so bad that they quit the series for years until Christopher Nolan came along. But you know that. Alright. So, no one likes me and I don't care. I'm here with Betty Lou Peaches Gillespie, and Sweat for Sale is this bristle hog pet. Someone said that's the greatest name he's ever seen for a pet. Sweat for Sale. He advertises that I'm selling sweat, so it makes sense. And that's a good creature to have an ad for a name. I love Sweat for Sale. It sure is ugly. Okay, so he's level 11. So there's 8 minutes of that. This video brought to you by Sunny D. I only talk about products that I actually like. Miller High Life, I'm living the high life. I use this a lot. Cholula hot sauce. Here's some dice. We use dice a lot. I plan to use a lot of dice. This paint, Americana. My brother gave me this paint. Okay, what are we talking about now? Lord of the Flies. That's not the original cover, but this is a well-made book. Hardcover. I read this in the last week. This book is what I've been concerned with. I hadn't read it since 9th or 10th grade. I read it twice then. So coming back to it was a trip. And I found out that this is a shortened, edited version of the original book. So I'm prepared to do this By the way, here's my Patreon page. I have 5 patrons. I make $17 per month. I need 1,000 more patrons. I wrote this article last night showing our Scrabble game, and here's a Starship Enterprise that I built out of tape, cardboard, and a Starbucks coffee cup, and a still life of apples there. There's where we live, Silver Dollar Motor Lodge in Reno. Don't show up there. I don't have time for you. And I talk about things in my life. There's a Stegosaurus. Let's see. Speaking of which, if you know what a starving Atrax is in Entropia, here's the toy of it. So I like to have him around. I've gotten more globals off the starving Atrax than any other creature in the game so far. Okay. Let's talk about Lord of the Flies. Here's the Wikipedia article. I may or may not post a link. It shows the original UK Lord of the Flies book cover. Lord of the Flies was not the original title. They've made 2 films, 1963 and 1990. I have seen neither, but I'm curious about them at this point. And I was wondering, why was this book written at all? Was this guy some kind of pervert wanting to write about naked boys on an island? No, what happened is he read The Coral Island, A Tale of the Pacific Ocean, written in 1857 by R.M. Ballantyne. And when he wrote it, he wanted to write a more realistic version of what would happen if a bunch of boys were on an island. So all this is here on Wikipedia, Lord of the Flies. I could read the whole thing, but I don't think that would be too exciting. Let's see, what's the original title of the book? Symbolism. Golding, who was a philosophy teacher before becoming Royal Navy lieutenant, had encountered violence and atrocities firsthand in battle, such as when he served in the Normandy landings during D-Day in 1944, in which he commanded a landing craft. After the war, when he returned to England, he found a world threatened by 2 nuclear superpowers vying for power and dominance. And the globe faced nuclear annihilation and devastation. Confronting such dilemmas throughout this period led him to examine the very nature of humanity, and subsequently inspired him to write The Lord of the Flies in 1984. Closely associated with war, the novel took its title from Beelzebub, a biblical demon who is considered the god of pride and warfare. Okay. So, I didn't understand completely The Lord of the Flies when I first read it, but now, many years later, I understand it a little bit more. So that's nice. I still can't find the original title of the book. The Strangers Within. Where does it say that? Anyway, so there's the Wikipedia article on Lord of the Flies. Here's the Wikipedia article on William Golding. This is the first time I've ever seen an actual picture of him. Lord of the Flies was his debut novel. Oh my goodness. He was brilliant. But he and ended up drinking a lot too. But he kept a personal journal for over 22 years, which contained 2.4 million words in total. So you can learn a lot from reading. Let's talk about the good things. Well, so somewhere in here is the original title for the book, and some college has the original book in their library. It'd be cool to see if it was available as a PDF file. So that's what I'm here to talk about. Is after 10 million copies sold of Lord of the Flies, it's an abridged version of the original book. So I learned about the publishing of Lord of the Rings, and during that time there was a paper shortage in England. So one reason probably for the shortening of this book is so that it didn't have so many pages, so it would be cheaper to publish. And that's a real reason. Things were scarce back then. And the original sale of 3,000 copies was really slow, and then it ended up becoming a huge hit. And Lord of the Rings sold 100 million copies. But 10 million copies for a book is pretty respectable. Not bad at all. It's his most famous book. Everyone knows Lord of the Flies, but not a single other thing he did. But he won the 1980 Booker Prize, 1983 Nobel Prize in Literature, and in 1988 he became a Knight of the British Empire. That's pretty impressive. Not bad for a school teacher alcoholic. Okay. Really amazing. So, I'm really glad I did this research and to be able to talk about it. Alright. So I studied literature in college and feel bad that I didn't do as good a job as I could have. So this is making up for some homework I didn't do. Lord of the Flies. Give it a read. Even after all these years, it still is kind of a chore to read. But it's written beautifully. And during the final chapters, he uses the word ululation a lot. U-L-U-L-A-T-I-O-N. And all it means is to yell or to holler. But instead he had to use the complicated word. No one knows what that word is. I've never heard it spoken aloud in my life. Anyway. Okay, back to Entropia. Oh, someone sent me a message. Kiz liar, kiz liar, kiz liar. And he wrote to me, nice pussy. Thanks. Charming. I'd zoom in on my character. I can't explain it on YouTube. They'd ban the video. Should I show a video game? I mean, I got time to do it. So we put the camera on the big monitor. Let's see if I can get this going. Where's the button? There it is.
Power on.
Okay.
AP.
Let's see if that's working. Turn on the video game console. It's all charged up. It should work.
No signal. Press input on your remote control, then select the device you want to view. Make sure the device is turned on.
Go to English. What do you want to see me play? Pac-Man or Joust?
Joust.
Okay, we'll play some Joust. Which one is it? I don't know where Joust is.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Number 113. On this little thing. Okay. I don't know what player game B is. Is that a harder version of the game?
I don't know. Just push start. I don't think any of those work.
So Joust is a classic game. I used to be really good at it. Pretty good. I could score over 100,000 on this game. And this is very close to the original, so I'm glad about that. Pretty impressive. I'm getting better. You really have to flap hard. Ah!
Oh no.
That's okay. It's just a demo. It's a warm-up. But you can see I've gotten better since the last time I played. The one thing, it's hard to make him stand still. Oh. See, oh, there we go. Standing still is important because, oh no!
Oh, the lava.
The hand in the lava got me. That's okay. Oh, I got him. Flap. And I love the, dang it, I love the brake sound. Like car brakes. It makes no sense. Oh. Ah. Okay, I got past the level. See, it should, there we go.
What's the egg?
The egg doesn't... Now that matters. Losing the egg doesn't matter. Okay, so this video is about over. We covered Entropia Universe. I did some show and tell. Talked about Lord of the Flies. And played some video game of Joust. There's my wall, my shrine. Still in progress. I love having lots of crap on the wall. And back to Entropia. So there's my content for the day. And that was a lot of fun. So thanks for watching.